gruesome mix of blood, shattered skull fragments, and, horrifyingly, a spoon, lodged in a place no spoon should ever be. In a way, it is a real, true story, and perhaps one of the most grisliest incidents ever recorded within prison walls. But before we dive further into this nightmare scenario, let's pull back the curtain on life inside for the predators. Note you're locked up for preying on children. You are not just unpopular, you are marked. Chomos, chesters, kitty fiddlers, tree jumpers, short eyes, rippers, skinners, rock spiders, and nonces. Whatever name you want to give to a predator, at the very least they will be treated like social pariahs. At worst, well, you'll see what happens soon when prisoners adopt a zero-tolerance policy toward these types of inmates. What this tells us is that U.S. prisons are crawling with sexual predators. The question is, how do this many men hide and avoid a beating? As a former prisoner wrote online, sex offenders, if they're stupid enough to go into a mainline yard, will get got. It almost always is never right away. The chomo is a hell of a good reason if you don't want to get got, and that's when you can ask to be put in what's called protective custody, or PC. PC is not just a world of like-minded chomos. Now let's take a look at the case of John Gagan, a former Roman Catholic priest who left over 150 boys suffering from decades of trauma. Though he was in PC, a fellow prisoner named Joseph Lee Druce stomped his face in and strangled him to death. Just like a guy we'll talk about later, Druce was a killer who went to prison and said he would make it his life's work to hunt predators. These were the men who reminded him of the people who abused him when he was a child. Thoughts below. Now you need to hear the full story in Most Evil Prisoner Kept in Glass Box, or have a look at Most Evil Kids in the History of Mankind.